Okay, in rugby union news, Leicester Tigers have named Geordan Murphy permanently as their new head coach. He's been interim coach, caretaker boss, whatever you want to call it, since September the 3rd, replacing Matt O'Connor, who was fired. But the Leicester Tigers have only won 3 league games this season, and they are in trouble. They sit 8th in the table, but they're only 3 points off last place. So, yeah, they're in real trouble. They have declined a lot in recent seasons. They have to play Harlequins this weekend, who are 6 points better off and 3 places above them. So they need to get a result against Harlequins. Their last result was a heavy defeat in Europe against Racing Metro, 34-11, and their European Champions Cup hopes have gone down the toilet. Now, Geordan Murphy has actually technically been running the ship since September. Um, I'm not sure necessarily if he is the right guy to take this team forward long term. But he did play 322 games for the club and he scored 691 points. He is a club legend. He does know the club inside and out. But the decline of Leicester Tigers has been a long-standing, slow decline that has sped up this season. Whilst they have been the most dominant force, I would say, in English rugby union for the better part of 20, 25 years, they have failed to replace some key players, and some players that are at the club now are underperforming badly, and maybe have been overplayed by both national and club side, and are starting to show fatigue. Geordan Murphy has a very difficult task ahead of him. So he's got to take them from mediocrity to the top half of the table soon. That's, I think, the goal. But they're only 3 points off last place, and that is a massive concern. Massive concern. So many clubs have taken steps forwards, whereas Leicester haven't. So he's got his work cut out. The fact he's actually been in charge since September the 3rd on a caretaker basis and the performances aren't there, I don't think they're going to change because he's now permanent coach. I really don't think it's that simple. I think there's more issues at Leicester, Welford Road, than people realise. I think the club has been left behind by others. Teams like Exeter have surged ahead, and Saracens are now the dominant force in English rugby. Those clubs are far farther ahead than Leicester have. They've overtaken Leicester and left them behind. So if Leicester are to get back at the top, they've got to do and make some hard decisions and look at the squad they've got and look at freshening it up. And they might have to start culling players and shipping players off. They have to win this game this weekend against Harlequins. They have to get a result. If they don't get a result, they could be slipping further down the table. And their defence is the worst in the league. They've shipped the most points. Yes, they've actually got the leakiest defence in the league, and that is a worry as well. So defence is something that Geordan Murphy and his team are going to have to look at, and they're going to have to look at some of the things that are going wrong. And this is going back further than Matt O'Connor. This decline has been going on now for a long time. Saracens and Exeter, as I've said, have taken that next step and have surged ahead. And Leicester are not developing as quickly, and that defence is a massive issue. You just got to look at losing to Racing Metro 34-11. That was a hammering by Racing Metro, and that defence is just not good enough. So Geordan Murphy's got to look at that defence first and foremost. You can't have a successful team in rugby union without a solid defence and solid defensive protocols in place. But I do think the issues with Leicester Tigers go far beyond Geordan Murphy this season and Matt O'Connor. I think there's a decline that's been in place that needs to be arrested, and I don't know how they do it. But at least the board has said they want stability, so that's why they're giving Geordan Murphy the job full time on a permanent basis. I'm surprised they've let him be caretaker for this long. I'm not sure he's necessarily the right guy taking forward post this season, but if he can make them respectable for the rest of this season, I think that's objective secured, and then we can look forward as rugby fans to see if he stays on in the role or gets replaced. I don't think they will get relegated, although it is starting to look more and more likely. I don't think they're the favourites for relegation. I think they have too much to go down. But again, we've said this before about teams in various sports. They're too big to fail. But 3 points off bottom and with the worst defence in the league, it's getting difficult. And the fact they're shipping so many tries and so many points, and their discipline's another issue as well, giving away so many silly penalties that are coach killers. It doesn't matter what tactics Geordan Murphy has in place. If they can't stay disciplined and keep the points down, it's a hard struggle. when you're being outscored and you're conceding the most points in the league and you're being regularly outscored and you've lost 8 in a row. They've lost 8 in a row, so they're not looking good. But there we go. He is the permanent coach for now. Well, we'll have to see what happens going forward. I think his goal is to make them respectable and mid-table. I don't think they're going to make the finals playoffs. But if they can have a respectable finish to the season, respectable second half of the season, and they can tighten up that defence, I think that's the objectives. But they have to win that game against Harlequins, another team that have declined somewhat in the last couple of seasons. They have to win that. It's a crunch match. They have to win that and get a bonus point if they can. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Geordan Murphy is known as Leicester Tigers head coach on a permanent basis, and I'll have some more videos for you soon. If you are a rugby fan, what do you make of this? Please place those comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.